I am Dr. K.V. Arya from Atal Bihari Vajpayee IIITM Gwalior, working there as an associate professor. My primary research area is image processing, biometrics, and recently I have started working in mobile ad hoc networks. Primarily, I concentrate on two issues in the mobile ad hoc network: the power aware routing and the secure routing. But in this lecture, I am just going to give the introduction of the mobile ad hoc networks along with some general terms used for that purpose. So, mobile ad hoc network, this is formed by the wireless hosts which may be mobile without necessarily using a pre-existing infrastructure. So, we do not need any pre-existing infrastructure for mobile ad hoc networks, and the routes between the nodes may be potentially containing the multiple hops. So, it is not possible that the every source and destination will be connected on the direct link. There may be we need to go for the multiple hops with the help of the nodes in between the source and destination. So, the mobile ad hoc networks, they may need to traverse the multiple links to reach the destination. Like in this example, we can see, suppose A is my source which want to send some information to my destination B. So, there are multiple links are there, like A may go to D and D to C, and then ultimately will be reaching to B, or there is another path available, it may go to C and then will be going to B. So, similarly, depending on that how many nodes are there in the communication range of my source node A, number of nodes this paths will be available. So, depending on my criteria of path search, it will be selecting any of the path from the available nodes. In mobile ad hoc networks, the mobility causes the route change, because as we know that every node is mobile in this network. So, the node which was the part of my route may move out of the network. So, ultimately when it moves out of the network, it will be disrupting the path from source to destination. So, in that case, we should have the mechanism for finding the another route, so that the source can send the required information to the destination. So, like we can see in this case, suppose the D has moved out of the network. So, we have to find out the another path. So, why ad hoc networks? The question arises, why at all we should go for the ad hoc networks, because our wired network was doing well. So, the simple reason is that this is ease of deployment, because deployment of the mobile ad hoc network is simple, because the devices are mobile. I do not need any wired network, I do not need any fixed infrastructure. So, another thing is speed of deployment, because fixed infrastructure is not there, wires need not to be put into there, we need not to dig any wires into the earth or so. So, we fastly we can deploy the network, and the third one is decrease dependence on the infrastructure. So, I do not have much dependency on the infrastructure, that is why the ad hoc networks are being preferred over the wired network or over the fixed infrastructure networks. As far as the applications of wireless ad hoc networks are concerned, the first one is the military environment. In fact, it started from the military applications only, the quick communication among the group of soldiers in the enemy territories or inhospitable terrains, where the terrain are like this, that it is not possible for us to put the wired connection over there or to put any fixed infrastructure over there. So, the wireless ad hoc networks are the only solution in those cases. Then the coordination of the military objects moving at high speed, such as the fleet of airplanes or the warships. Prime concern for the military environment enforce reliability, efficiency, security support for the multicast routing. So, these are the applications. As far as the civilian environment is concerned, there also the ad hoc networks are being used extensively, like the mesh networks, taxi cab network, meeting rooms, sports stadium, boats, small air carts, etc. So, these are the civil applications where wireless ad hoc networks are being used effectively. Another application could be the personal area network, where like using our laptops, earphones, wristwatches, etc. So, they could also be used as a part of wireless ad hoc network. So, because there also we do not need any fixed infrastructure. So, without fixed infrastructure, with a wireless medium we can talk to each other. Another application could be the emergency operations, like in environments where the conventional infrastructure based communication facilities are destroyed due to the war or due to some natural calamities. So, in those cases we need to provide the communication. So, wireless ad hoc network is a very effective medium of providing the communication. in real-time communication may be the prime concern. So here, emergency cases, real-time communication is an important factor. So we need to look into this while designing such wireless ad hoc networks in the emergency cases. Wireless sensor networks is the one step ahead of it, where the devices used there are the sensor which will be sensing some parameters, maybe like the humidities, maybe the like temperature, and this could be used for finding like in the jungle we can identify the fire, etc., because if the temperature of the particular sensor is observed much higher than the threshold, so we can say there is a possibility of fire in the jungle. So sensor networks are used for that purpose. The measurement of the parameter like the humidity also we can measure, and we can find out, because the humidity is increasing, is there any leakage of water or something there, so we can look. It is very, very useful, particularly for those applications of the industry where the leakage could be hazardous for the human being. So there we replace the human operators, human observers by the sensor devices, and these devices will be sensing those parameters like the concentration of the nuclear waves over there, the concentration of the chemical in the atmosphere. So if those concentration is observed to be higher than some threshold value, so then we can say that there is a possibility of leakage of the chemicals or leakage of nuclear radiations. Another application could be the collaborative and distributed computing, where the quick communication among the group of people need to be provided. Group of researchers want to share their research findings. So if suppose many researchers are working on the same problem and everybody is doing the different sub problem of this, and they need to share their finding, because that the finding of the one researcher could be useful for the work of the second researcher. So we need to provide a communication over medium. So there this wireless medium could be a very, very useful device. Distributing the lecture notes on the data on the class, like I am teaching some class, I want to distribute my notes to the entire class or every member of the class. So in that cases we can use the wireless network for distributing these notes. Devices with the high processing power like laptops and PDAs are required for that purpose, but the issue comes over there is interoperability in an important issue, because the PDA have different structure, the laptops have the different configuration. So how these different configuration devices will be communicating to each other to make the entire system, so that is an issue. So we need to look into that issue while designing. Another important application is the vehicular ad hoc networks. They are used for the intelligent transportation system, safety applications, traffic control applications, and the comfort applications. So here the vehicles itself will be acting like a device. Another application is the wireless mesh networks used in the residential zones or the broadband internet connectivity, on highway for providing the communication facility for moving automobiles, some business zones, university campuses, and the civilian areas. So there we use the wireless mesh networks, where we use the mesh connectivity among the wireless devices. So there are many variations of the wireless ad hoc networks. They could be categorized based on the fully symmetric environment, like all nodes have the identical capabilities and responsibilities. All the devices have the similar configuration. There could be asymmetric capabilities, transmission ranges may differ, that all the devices have the different transmission range. Battery life may be different for the different nodes, processing capability may be different for the different nodes, and the speed of movement may be differ. Like in the symmetric environment, everybody has the similar device, similar capability, also the speed of movement will also be same. But in asymmetric, everything could be different, everybody have its own capability, which not necessarily will be matching with the other devices. Asymmetric responsibilities, only some nodes may route the packets, some nodes may act as a leader or nearby nodes, like if you use the cluster routing or something, so we need to have a cluster head, so which will have the more information than the other, because it will need to perform additional tasks as compared to the other nodes in that system. The mobility patterns may be different, that the people sitting in an airport lounge, New York taxi cabs, kids playing, military movements, and the personal area networks, they are the examples over there. The mobility characteristics, speed, predictability, direction of the movement, pattern of the movement, uniformity or the lack thereof, the mobility of characteristics among the different nodes. But the challenges here are broadcast nature of the wireless medium, and there comes a problem of the hidden terminal problem, which we will discuss in the next slide. Mobility induced route changes, mobility induced packet losses, battery constraints, because each of the mobile devices has a limited battery. So we cannot afford that any of the node should drain out its battery. So battery constraint is a big issue over here. Potentially frequent network partitions, ease of snooping or wireless transmission, security hazards, etc. Hidden terminal problem is like that, like A wants to send to C, but C cannot hear to A or to the other nodes. The transmission nodes may A to C collide with the B, because B can hear to C as well as to A. So nodes A and C are hidden from each other, but they can talk to each other with the help of the node B. So that is the hidden problem, hidden node problem. Design issues in the mobile wireless ad hoc networks. One is the routing, and the challenges in the routing protocol are the frequent path breaks due to the mobility, packet drops due to the mobility again, the stale of the routing information, difficulty in resource reservation, bandwidth constraints, battery power, buffer storage, and the computing power. So these all are the issues which need to be taken care while designing a routing protocol. Requirement for routing protocol: minimum route acquisition delay, quick route reconfiguration, loop free routing, distributed routing, minimum control overhead, scalability, provision for quality of services, and support for the time of sensitive traffic security. So with this, we can see that the wireless ad hoc network, which is very, very useful for the real life application nowadays, it has the different challenges as well as the deployment of such networks there. And the biggest challenge is the routing, when we are looking for our battery life and looking for the security of this. Thank you.